Thanks for staying tuned. I'm Stanford Howard with the August 13th edition of the Hgp Sportscast. We begin with bodybuilding. 42-year-old Marlon Bennett beat out 4 other competitors Monday evening to capture his first ever Mr. Guyana crown at the National Culture Center. In the Guyana Amateur Bodybuilding and Fitness Federation National Senior Championship. More in this report. The night, which was filled with muscles and well-chiseled body structures from head to toe, as well as scores of patrons in the Culture Center, were able to witness the 25 contestants vie for bragging rights for their various categories. The Miss Bikini segment, which saw the crowd going wild as the 2 participants who not only wowed the judges, but everyone with their poses and well-structured bodies, walking across the stage flexing their biceps and triceps. The category was won by Rosanna Fong of Space Gym. The night was far from over as the male competition took to the stage in the bantamweight category. Deran Harris out of Tower Gym brought home gold over House Gym T. Judge Paul Jitsawan. While in the lightweight under 154 category, Marlon Bennett took first place while his gym mate out of Fitness 53, Jermaine Bacchus, brought second, with Darius Ramsamy from Buddy's Gym coming in third.
Relax. Choose the better side, side chest goes. Relax. Back to judges.
In more action, later on in the evening, Marlon Bennett flexed his way to 2 more titles, taking the Masters over his 2 other competitors, and also collecting the overall title and becoming the new Mr. Guyana. Bennett, who spoke to the media after the win, said that the win is motivation for himself and children, since he has been knocking on the door of the competition for many years.
When I come in competition, I say, well, I never get a shot. Because it's the only competition, Corwin Clark. For like 20 years.
This is the first time you've ever won?
The overall. I've been a couple lightweight title already.
But you've done it as a master.
Yeah, as a master.
What it means for the other older athletes?
Well, to encourage the older athletes to step their game up together, that age is just a number.
Also wowing the audience and taking home first place was Emerson Campbell out of Space Gym and Carlos Patterson with the heavyweight win. President of the Guyana Amateur Bodybuilding and Fitness Federation, Kevon Best, noted that the competition were great despite having some technical troubles. Lauding the huge turnout by the athletes, he expressed optimism at seeing a similar level of support from fans.
In 2020, with the plans that we have, and once we execute them well by taking novices to Linden, bringing back Mr. Borbies, and then return to Georgetown with a grand competition, once we sensitize, we know next year, now seniors will be very big.
And in terms of offering a higher incentives to the athletes, the president said that in 2020, they'll be looking to present the overall winner a motor vehicle. For Hgp Sport, I am Stanford Howard. Switching gears to cycling. Cycling in Guyana is on the cusp of something spectacular under its present administration. And with the way things are going, Guyana could make the 2024 Olympics. These were the words of veteran cyclist James Joseph.
Present at Guyana's first hosting of the Junior Caribbean Cycling Championship held at Bartica at the weekend, the veteran cyclist who dominated back in his days is in full support of what is taking place with cycling locally. Joseph said he is pleased that the Guyana Cycling Federation and the Bartica has taken this bold step in hosting such a prestigious event.
Step for Guyana and Bartica to hosting such a big event. This event may look small, but it's a big event. And I have to give it to the president of the Cycling Federation. He's been doing a wonderful job. I would not be here because, he invited me to come here. And I vow to assist in prolonging and to make the cycling better in Guyana because I've been around the world riding, and Guyana is like now coming forward. We got a whole lot of talent cyclists, so we need to get behind the cyclists. The government and the federation, along with the Olympic Association, they should help.
Over the years, the sport was active in Guyana, but in the form of road races and mini meets in the national park, along with a few overseas meets, which are not enough to take local cyclists to higher heights. Joseph is, however, encouraged to support the plan by the Cycling Federation, since he is confident that if the work continues, Guyana will be seen at the 2024 Olympics. 4 to 5 years from now, where do we see the sport of cycling here in Guyana?
Yes, this group of guys, you could look forward to them. If they continue doing what they're doing, you can see them in the 2024 Olympics.
The Cameron Games, the World Championships, Pan American Games, and the Masters were just some of the highlights of Joseph's tenure in the sport of cycling. The Londoner has also charged aspiring cyclists to work hard, since it is the only way to achieve. To the young and aspiring cyclists here,
It just be patient and be diligent and let your tenacity shows. My my highlight of my career was in when I turned 60 years old in the World Championship, when I was riding for Guyana and I break the world record. That was the highlight of everything. I had to wait 40 years for that.
At what age?
At 60 years old.
Jaden Samuels, HGP Sport.
In athletics, the Jefford Classic over the last decade has blossomed to become one of the country's leading grass track events, and the Guyana Police Force athletes have dominated this 10th season. Samuel Gillis has more.
Guyana Police Force athlete Davin Fraser breezed his way to win the men's 100 meters at the Jefford Track and Field Classic in Linden over the weekend at the Mackenzie Sports Club. Among the athletes that turned heads was Cassie Small, who eased over the finish line to win the women's 400 meters. Her opponents never had a chance as she led the race with pace and power. One change this year which brought smiles to the athletes' faces is that for the 10th anniversary, the organizers decided to ensure that the athletes are directly compensated. Nightly News spoke with Edison Jefford to understand the reason for this change.
Celebrating 10 years, I felt that we should have rewarded the athletes that competed for those years directly as an incentive to them. That's one of the reasons why no overseas athletes was invited as well, so that the local athletes could benefit from the $2 million that over the years, having given the money to clubs, a lot of the athletes met me in person, and this is not to chide the clubs or anything, but a lot of the athletes met me in person indicate that, when we pay the clubs the cash prizes, it don't trickle down to the athletes in an appropriate manner. Let me put it like that.
Cassie Small also won the 100 meters in 12.02 seconds and the 200 meters in 1 minute 3.7 seconds. In shot put, Natasha Alder won with 12.55 meters, as well as the women's discus event with 37.92 meters. Though the men's 100 meter race finished fast, the crowd seemed to enjoy the nail-biting finish. Davin Fraser clocked 10.37 seconds to win ahead of Older's 10.62 seconds and Owen Adonis 10.8 seconds. Davin is 0.79 seconds behind the world record holder Usain Bolt. Meanwhile, Anthony Williams leaped a distance of 6.83 meters to win the male long jump. All the athletes received their cash prizes at the podium ceremony, along with their respective medals. The Guyana Police Force won both the male and female 4x100 meters and 4x400 meters relay. However, according to Jefford, the dominance of the GPF did not come as a surprise.
The Guyana Police Force is one of the main clubs. We can't take that away from them. In fact, if you check the history of the meet, I think out of 10, when we had the club championship, they would have won 8 or something like that. So that alone speaks to the dominance. You check at the national AAG level, the senior championships, they won that. So they are not, it's not unusual, I should say, for them to to be on top of athletics in Guyana.
For Hgp Sport, I am Samuel Gillis. For Hgp Sport, I am Samuel Gillis.
Thank you, Samuel. In cricket news, former West Indies head coach Phil Simmons is one of the 6 shortlisted for the top spot of India head coach. More in this report. The 56-year-old Trinidadian, who played 26 tests and 143 one-day internationals for West Indies between 1987 and 1999, has been joined by former New Zealand coach Mike Henson, former Sri Lankan coach Tom Moody, experienced T20 coach Robin Singh, former India team manager Lakshan Ramtriput, and current India head coach Ravit Sartri. While the names of Henson and Moody were billed as the high-profile candidates challenging Sartri from day one, Simmons is a late entry into the process. The 56-year-old had a successful stint with Ireland and Afghanistan cricket teams. Simmons had a brief stint with the West Indies team as well, guiding them to victory in the 2016 World T20 tournament in India before taking over as head coach of Afghanistan national team in 2017. Henson, the youngest of the 6 candidates at just 44 years of age, recently stepped down from his position as Kings 11 Punjab manager and is the only one with a top test-level coaching experience, leading the rival of the New Zealand team in his 6-year stint. Moody was also part of the successful Sunrisers Hyderabad franchise before stepping down from this position after IPL 2012 to be replaced by Trevon Bayliss. Friday will decide if Sartri will continue hold on to the coveted position as India's coach, or a new face will join the Indian cricket. For Hgp Sport, I am Stanford Howard. More cricket news. Cricket is set to make a reappearance at the Commonwealth Games set for Birmingham in 2022. And it is also the hope of the ICC to make cricket a part of the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics. Jaden Samuels has more.
If everything goes according to plan, we will see the top 8 international women's team from across countries that come under the Commonwealth realm competing in the T20 format over 8 days, with all matches taking place at Edgbaston. The game was already in the Commonwealth Games in the 50 overs format in 1998 in Kuala Lumpur, with South Africa winning the gold medal after beating Australia in the final by 4 wickets. A statement from Dame Louise Martin, president of the Commonwealth Games Federation, said, "It is delightful to have cricket part of the games again. To this end, the ICC will lend support to the Federation by overseeing the staging of the competition, apart from providing match officials." Meantime, cricket is in line to be included in the 2028 Olympic Games in Los Angeles. MCC World Cricket Committee Chairman Mike Gattin had said following an address by the ICC's new chief executive, Manu Sone, at Lord's this week. In what would be the end of one of cricket's longest and least satisfying sagas, Gattin said Sone told the MCC's Cricket Committee that strong progress had been made to ensure the game is given the global platform many of its custodians want it to gain, those including, seemingly for the first time, in India. Jaden Samuels, Hgp Sport.
And that's all we have for this edition of the Hgp Sportscast. But do remember, never say never. Limits like fears are often just an illusion. I do bid you farewell. Until next time, over to you, Colwyn.